Hi, mystery writers. This is Zara Altair, and this is Mystery Fix, where we talk about writing mysteries and making them the best they can be for your readers. And today I want to talk about how you tell your story, and that is from the character's point of view. And today I'm going to be talking about the third person limited point of view. It's a very standard in modern literature. It's a very standard way of telling the story. So how you tell the story makes a difference. And point of view is the voice that tells the mystery to your readers. And third person point of view allows readers to know what the narrator thinks and experiences without going directly into their head, although you can do this a little bit. So you limit the perspective to one person. Ursula K. Le Guin gives a great description of third person limited point of view in her wonderful writing manual, Steering the Craft. And I'll post a link to that because it's just a beautiful book about writing. So what she says is only what the viewpoint character knows, feels, perceives, thinks, guesses, hopes, remembers, etc. can be told. The reader can infer what other people feel and think only from what the viewpoint character observes of their behavior. Now, if you've thought about mystery writing at all, you'll see that that is a great, great perspective for your protagonist, because they are trying to figure out who committed the murder in your mystery. And you're leading your readers along in that trail, and so your readers know what your protagonist knows, and they go along with your protagonist to uncover the layers of all the suspects. So third person limited point of view creates an intimacy between readers and the characters. And even though the story is not in the first person, as a writer, you can reveal thoughts and responses that allow readers to sense and feel what that character does. So using different scenes, you can tell the story from the point of view of characters other than your protagonist. I'm going to talk about this a little bit later. And many mystery and suspense writers alternate between the protagonist's point of view and the antagonist's point of view. But it's still only in their head what they perceive. So I think that's the thing that you need to understand about the limited third person is your reader gets only what that character perceives, feels, and thinks. Now, one of the reasons this is great in a mystery writing is you create that mystery with uncertainty. And because the story is told from a limited point of view, the emotions and secrets and backstory of the other characters, especially the suspects, remain uncertain. And you challenge your sleuth to dig deeper to discover motivations and actions these characters keep hidden, and they often keep them hidden on purpose. So part of your sleuth's job is to discover the motivations of those characters. And as your sleuth peels back the layers of understanding how to solve the puzzle, your reader is right along with them, because mystery readers love a puzzle, and they love going along with your sleuth, trying to figure out how all the pieces fit together. And another thing is point of view does for your novel is it builds tension, and tension keeps readers turning those pages. Um, so when the character has that limited knowledge, so does your reader. Your reader's pretty much trapped in the head of that character who's telling the story. And as you keep secrets from the character, you build tension for the readers, and page turning is the key to keeping readers involved in your mystery. So as your protagonist encounters challenges, your reader follows along, expectant for the next discovery, and that creates tension. And good mystery writing involves keeping your character and your reader in suspense. One of the other beauties of the third-person limited point of view is that reader comprehension evolves. So as the mystery progresses, your reader's perspective on characters and situations evolves, and it evolves right alongside the narrator's perspective. And this evolution of understanding is exactly what mystery readers want. Because they see only what the character sees, they are tied to the discovery path of your mystery. And that's what you want. You want to keep them like right on the edge, and what's coming next, and wondering and expecting more revelations. And third-person limited point of view is just a fantastic way to do that. So there is a major challenge for third-person limited point of view, especially for new writers, and the most common challenge is to change characters. So you might be tempted to leap from being inside the sleuth's head to the suspect's head, and then back to the sleuth's head, and that is called head hopping, and you just don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it within a scene. If you choose to go outside the point of view of your protagonist, you need to use a separate scene to illuminate another character's point of view. So don't do it within one scene. Go from this person's head to that person's head and back to that first person's head again. It really confuses your reader, and it does exactly what you don't want to do, which is it doesn't build tension. It distracts your reader and actually confuses them. I'm like, who's telling this story anyway? Readers may not actually know that's what they're feeling, but they'll get confused, and they'll lose that tension that you want to build. That's so important in a mystery. So if you're starting out, you want to limit the number of characters you use to narrate the mystery. Many authors use one character. Another set of authors use the protagonist and the antagonist. They alternate scenes, often chapters, between the antagonist and the protagonist. So they're building tension because the antagonist is setting their plan and trying to escape your sleuth, and your sleuth is absolutely determined to find out who that antagonist is. So I suggest in a mystery especially, choose wisely if you want to let your readers inside another character outside of those two main characters. Because the point of your mystery is to create a puzzle for your reader, and too many viewpoints muddies the waters of your story, and you're really likely to confuse your reader rather than enlighten them. It may feel like to you, the creator, oh, well, I'll get inside this other character's head and the reader will understand more about blah, blah. But Often it does just the opposite. The reader loses interest. They lose track of the story because remember, every scene needs to move that story forward. And it's really hard to do if you start having going inside the heads of 3 or 4 or more characters. So, especially when you're starting out, I would really limit the characters you use to tell the story in the point of view. Also, I would suggest that you choose the point of view before you begin your mystery. So, if you have doubts, try writing the beginning of your story in the first person and then try writing it in the third person and see which flows better and which feels better to you as a writer. It is a really good exercise if you're writing your first mystery to try writing your story, just a piece of that story from those two different points of view. I actually did this a few years ago thinking I wanted to be inside the protagonist's head in the first person, and I started writing in the first person. Um, and then I realized I was going to write myself into a corner, um, and I switched to the third person because as I thought about how the story would unfold, I realized the third person limited would work better for the entire story. So you really want to give this some thought when you're starting out. So also alternating between third person limited and first person is a device some writers use. They may use third person for the protagonist and first person for the antagonist. Um, In the hands of a skilled writer, this technique can work, but it's very hard to sustain your attention in your mystery if you don't do it right. So if you're thinking about doing that, using two different points of views, first person and third person, really consider it carefully. Actually, if you use one, like third person limited for both of those characters, each of those characters, your story's going to flow. It's absolutely your choice what you want to do, but you need to consider how you're going to bring your readers along. It's the most important thing you can think about is, how you get your readers involved in your mystery and turning those pages, even their electronic pages and swiping. You want your readers to not get lost. So sustaining a point of view is a really good method. It's a technique to keep your reader involved and on track. So it's your choice for storytelling. Third person limited point of view is the standard storytelling device in popular fiction. So readers are very comfortable with this point of view. They won't be put off or confused by third person limited. You can use this point of view to your advantage as you create a mystery trail for your sleuth. That's pretty much what I wanted to cover. If you have any questions, please get in touch. It's a huge decision how you're going to tell your story. And so I really suggest that you spend some time, discover your comfort level writing in first person or in third person. Look at some techniques for getting inside your character's head, even when you're writing in third person. It's easy to do with some practice. So, news before I leave. I'm really excited. British mystery writer Elizabeth Gates will be offering writing tips in November. I'm going to be doing an interview with Elizabeth, and I'm so excited about this. I think, speaking of points of view, I think that getting points of view of various mystery writers helps you decide exactly what you want to do in writing your mysteries, and let you know as soon as I have a date. Um, for that, it's going to be in early November, so keep your eyes open, and especially if you are a mystery writer and would like to share your tips, please get in touch. I love doing interviews, and as I said, various perspectives and various tips help other writers think about what they want to do for their mystery. Um, and that's it for today. Third person limited point of view in your mystery. Thanks again for watching, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss another episode of Mystery Fix. Thanks.